Hey there, it's Olivia-Savannah here from Olivia's Catastrophe, and it's day 11 of October. I'm here with a tea that is absolutely not the tea that I just closed the previous video on, and I am currently going to be reading 2 books. So as you know, I've been in a 3-star reading streak. The last 7 books that I finished have all been 3 stars. I need something to break me out. And this morning I started Divine Might by Natalie Haynes. This is her non-fiction book where she's looking at the Greek goddesses. This is the first time I've read anything by her before, and I am loving it. She is just so good at telling a story in an entertaining way, but from a very feminist lens. You can tell that she's done her research, she knows her stuff. She's drawing from both the classics but also contemporary views of women as these goddesses as well. I love it. All I've done is read the introduction, and I had to pull out my highlighter and highlight bits. I don't tend to highlight my non-fiction, only if I'm studying it, but this I just had to because she was saying things that I was just vibing with. And I also read the chapter that was about the muses, and I just learned so much, even though I've read about the muses in so many different instances and occasions before. So I'm very excited because the next chapter is called Hera. But in my reading session right now, I'm going to continue with I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me by Jamison, Shea. And this one is about a black ballerina who is queer, and she just wants to be seen as the best. She's top of her class, but she keeps getting overlooked, probably because she's black. So she ends up going to the catacombs beneath Paris, where she hears that if you make a wish upon this river, a blood-soaked river, it will grant you what you want. And she goes and does that, and it's actually a horror with ballerina vibes. And I have read 25 pages, which were good so far, but basically tells me nothing about if I'm going to like the story or not. So let me continue reading this one. Like I've been everywhere this week and I'm quite tired this Sunday afternoon, but let's talk about the week because we're halfway through October now. It's day 15, and this week there were more book events after the Elizabeth Acevedo one. I went to Annabelle Hirsch's book event for A History of Women in 101 Objects, which is where she talks about female history through objects and narrates female history through these objects that she's chosen. She's absolutely lovely as an author. It's been fantastic working on that campaign, and the book is really good. So it's one again that I recommend, but it was really nice to go to her event because it was in the Battersea bookshop. Battersea Power Station has recently been like revamped and redone, so it's very cool to just walk around and see that. It's beautiful, big, really big bookshop, and it's indie, and it's amongst all these shopping brands, and that's fascinating. On Friday I got to meet Stars and Embers, Kat, and her friend, who I will need to find her booktube channel because she also does booktube. They've been traveling around the UK and like Wales and Scotland for the past month, I've discovered, but it was really nice to meet her and talk to her in person because she is from Melbourne, Australia, so it's not every day that I can go and meet her and talk to her. We went out for dinner, so that was really nice to meet Kat, especially as I've been talking to her and watching her channel for a while now. Actually that night my mum arrived from the Netherlands and she's been staying with us. She's gonna be here and then staying with my sister for some of the week, so she was here with us yesterday and we had big plans. They kind of became smaller and smaller, but we still had a lot of fun, like talking, joking, and having a great time throughout the day. So even though we didn't get all of our big plans, it was still nice. We went out for lunch and I had a lovely French toast, and the cafe was decorated for Halloween. We're still kind of exploring my local area because of the fact that we moved here in April, so it was kind of nice to explore a new place. Oh, I made tomato soup. I am not a big fan of tomato soup, to be fair, but it was in the 20-minute vegan cookbook. So you know what, I thought, I have faith in Callum Harris, let me try the soup. And it was really good soup, but I have to say what stole the show for me were the homemade croutons that you make to go with the soup. And it was also very light on the tomato and balanced off with the garlic, so if you like garlic flavors, you're also really going to like this soup. So it was actually really nice soup that we made. But I wanted to update you on what I've been reading. So I have been reading Monstress volume, should hold it over here, Monstress volume 5. I'm a third of the way through. I was reading this during the reading sprints this week, but I was reading very slowly because the artwork is just so stunning, and I have to take the time to appreciate the beauty that is simply in this book. I can't fangirl over the artwork as much as I always do. This is my favourite graphic novel in terms of artists. It's actually been a while since I read volume 4, but I'm really enjoying volume 5, and this one is getting a lot more into like war politics and refugee politics around war, which is quite hard to read with everything that's going on in Gaza at the moment. So I'm taking my time with it, but it's a very good volume. I've also read a lot more of I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast Is Me by Jamison's Shea. I just love the cover artwork. I keep looking at it and distracting myself from reading, and I am 80 pages in, so actually not that far. I'm still at the beginning, but the deal has been made. The deal that has to do with the darkness and the gothic and the horror elements to this. I am loving it because it's giving me a lot of dark academia vibes, with it being the ballet school and everything, and I'm so fascinated by how the writing style itself feels quite charged with anger. You could just tell that she's so fed up of the racism and being singled out for being a black ballerina and daring to be a black lower class ballerina. I'm enjoying this. And then last but not least, I finished Divine Might by Natalie Haynes. This was for my feed scroll prompt, so I've ticked that off, and I really enjoyed this. This will not be my last Natalie Haynes. I'm already thinking about how I can read the rest of her backlist. It does such a good job of highlighting the highs and the lows of the Greek goddess figures, but she also is entertaining and funny, and I really like not only how much I learn, because I just keep learning so much and then running to Simone and being like, did you know this, did you know this, but also how she really relates it to the present day. And I do think this is the best non-fiction I've read about Greek mythology, and I will be recommending it as such. So happy I read this because it's finally broken my 3-star rating streak, which has been for the past 7 months. Oh, there you go. Welcome to Olivia's Catastrophe, baby Hoppy.
Go on, tell them some things, Olivia.
Give the book review. The book good?
Thank you for all my books, Auntie Olivia. Thank you for all my books. I'm going to be an avid reader because of you. Woo! Woo!
Yeah. Let's do this reading update, even though the lighting is a little bit weird. So I actually had plans tonight with my friend, and it's pouring with rain, and we're both introverts, and we unanimously decided to cancel our plans. So that's all good. It means I've got time to update you on my reading. I finished reading Wild by Kristin Hannah. I've talked about this extensively, so I'm not going to give it that much time, but the ending just what? When you read a Kristin Hannah book, you read it so that you can hand her your heart on a plate, and slowly she like cradles your heart, she takes care of it, you think it's all gonna be fine, and then she just snaps it. She just snaps it in front of your face. So that's how I felt reading Wild. It was emotional, but also it managed to have that uplifting tone, that hopeful tone to it too. So even though this one broke me in the best way, it was a very good time. I enjoyed being broken by Kristin Hannah once again, and I will be reading another one of hers. So this one counts towards the prompt of disability, because there is somebody who has a learning disability in this one that's quite extensive, and it heavily relates to trauma. I am going to see my husband. Okay, anyway, so what I'm actually going to talk about now is another book that I have lots of thoughts and feelings on, and that is Court of the Vampire Queen by Katee Robert. Now listen, this book taught me that everything I read has been steamy romance. Like every book I've read with steamy scenes is called steamy romance. This is not steamy romance. This is vampire smart, okay? It's about this girl. She's half vampire, half human, and she gets sent as a sacrifice to this vampire who's trapped for the vampire to be able to feed off of her as much as she wants. And in this world, if a vampire bites you, you're pretty much, or a certain type of vampire like this man is, bites you, you're pretty much going to be sexually attracted to them as part of the process of being bitten. Yeah, it's also polyamorous, so there's not just one vampire in this. Slowly and surely over the course of the book, another 3 vampires get added to the mix. So there's 4 of them all together having a jolly good time. Is there a plot to this? There actually is though, and the plot makes me laugh so much. I'm halfway through this book already. The plot makes me laugh so much because there's actually a reason why they always need to have as much polyamorous sex as they do for every section of this book, and it just makes me laugh so much. The steamy scenes are really good. They're really good. The writing is just okay. So what I will say is I did some research on this book and I was wondering what a smart book is doing being almost 500 pages long when I found out that this is actually her trilogy that she previously indie published, but they've combined it all into one book. So you get books 1, 2 and 3, which are all about 150ish to 160ish pages each, and they've made it into one big book. I was up at 1 AM reading it and having a great time reading it. It was funny, it was entertaining. Were the characters pretty flat? Yes. Was the plot hanging on by threadbare strings? Yes. But as I said, it's a vampire smut book. And what I actually appreciate is that even more than the Gilda stories did at the beginning of the month, this one actually has vampire lore in it. I like that you get a good understanding of how the vampires operate, what vampires' gifts and powers are, and the dynamics of that. And even though it's not the most extensive world building I've ever read, for a book that is essentially vampire smut, I didn't think I would get as much vampire lore as I did. Otherwise, I'm also reading these 3 books. So I woke up one day and I decided it was time to start the brick that is Dune by Frank Herbert. I don't think in any way or form I'm going to finish this book this month. This is a very well-known sci-fi book. I don't actually know how to summarize it, even though I have already seen the film. A science fiction based war that happens over a desert planet where spice is grown there, and it's about 2 colonizers who are fighting over this planet, and of course they're ignoring the indigenous people on the planet, so something's going to happen with them too. There's a lot about fate, there's kind of philosophy in this, and the world building is very extensive. I read the first 88 pages and actually I'm finding it so helpful that I have watched the film already because I've got a very good understanding of the different types of people that we're meeting. I'm also listening to this one through audiobook because that's the way my patrons told me to do it. If you want to know what audiobook platform I use, because I gave up on script because I wasn't liking their selection anymore, I am now switched to using Libro FM. I think it's a really good platform to use because every time you make a purchase, whether that's through your monthly subscription or just through independently buying an audiobook, some of that money goes to an independent bookshop. So directly by having your subscription service with them, you're supporting indie bookshops and you can choose which one you want your purchases to go towards. I've been using them. I'll have a link down below if you want to check out Libro FM, and if you sign up with that link I also get a free audiobook. And the audiobook production on this is really good, like lots of different voices, sound effects, the whole shebang is in this audiobook. I actually personally don't always love audiobooks like that because it distracts me a bit and my audio processing is not that good, but it's just enough for me to appreciate the different voices in this. In my previous vlog I mentioned that I started these 2 books, I Feed Her to the Beast and The Beast Is Me, Monstress Volume 5. I am now halfway through both of these books. Monstress Volume 5 I am adoring, I'm loving it. I think the war politics that are going on in this is just fascinating. I love our main character, she's got so many facets to her and she never does what you expect. And Kippa is still the cutest but also has grown up so much. I am just loving how this series continues to play out. And then I'm also halfway through I Feed Her to the Beast and The Beast Is Me, and I'm liking this one a little bit less. It was giving me the dark academia vibes I was craving, but it was taking quite a while to get there and I wanted it to speed itself up. And while it did heighten the stakes, I don't think it's moving fast enough for my liking. It's quite slow, and I know that dark academia can be slow, but it just feels agonizingly slow. So I'm still liking the atmosphere and the dark academia ballet feeling, and I'm curious to see where it goes, but it's not gripping me as much as I want. today. But the important thing is I've been going to bed before midnight every night, which is really hard to do when you're reading a dark romance book, but I've managed it. And today, on my lunch break, I finished reading Call of the Vampire Queen by Katee Robert, and let me tell you, I had a very good time. It is basically like flat characters, some things are very coincidental, it happens too easily. It was building up to a really good big plot moment, and then it finished that plot moment in all of 10 pages. I had a good time. I enjoyed reading this book, okay? I'm not saying that I have a favourite between the boys even, because I'm not sure if they have enough differentiation or depth to them. They have enough differentiation. I don't know if they have enough depth to them for me even to have a favourite, but I enjoyed reading about their experiences with her. I enjoyed seeing them slowly fall more and more in love, and I enjoyed seeing them being vampires and learning more about the vampire lore, as well as the other dark creatures that are in this. I appreciate how many times in this book the words "bite me" are said. I think sometimes in vampire books they shy away from the words "bite me" because they don't want to be cheesy or too on the nose, but like, vampires, I'm gonna say bite me, okay? I just appreciate when I hear the words bite me. This book gives you not one epilogue but 2 epilogues, and I enjoyed both of them, and I'm sincerely hoping that that epilogue at the end there means a spin-off is going to happen, because I would definitely read more in this world. So that one ticked off my prompt of smut or spice. What's going to happen next is I'm going to undo my hair. I'm going to have a hair day, wash day, because I'm getting my hair done on Sunday, and I'm really looking forward to getting this off my head and like changing colour and changing style and everything. And I'm going to watch a film with my sister Simone. We're going to have one of our cozy film nights. We've got sticky toffee pudding, got some wine with my name on it, and we are going to watch one of her picks, and she's chosen I Care a Lot, so I'm looking forward to watching that with her tonight. Hello! So I've decided to do this update on my knees, so let's see how long that lasts. But yes, my hair is done. It's red at the bottom. It's red for autumn. I'm very happy with it. That took some time, but we got here, we did it. I watched I Care a Lot with my sister as I was undoing my hair, and it was a good time. It was kind of like Gone Girl, but with a more interesting theme or premise running through it, but it was literally Gone Girl, and it also had Rosamund Pike in it, so she was literally playing the same role, and I could predict what would happen plot-wise based on the fact that I'd seen Gone Girl before, which entertained me to no end, but it was wild. So that was that film. It's It's like an okay watch for me. And I have been reading an awful lot because I joined in with Hannah's sprints yesterday, and actually while I was doing my hair I usually have to contribute to the process and help, but this time my hairdresser was like, nope, I'm gonna do it all myself, so you can just read while I do your hair. And so I finished reading a book. And I finished I Feed Her to the Beast by Jamison, Shea, and the beast is me, I should say. I really don't know what to make of this book. I really liked the beginning. I think the middle dragged so much, and so much could have been taken out of the middle. And then I really liked the end as well. And some of the themes and things that they were saying at the end kind of struck with me, as we do have like a black author and a black main character. And I was like, oh, this is so interesting to see these themes being translated in like a horror, dark academia, because I feel them. And I like the choices that she made at the end. But in terms of the actual horror to this, like the river that gives her powers, I wasn't as scared by it. It didn't strike me with the darkness that I like in my horror. So it felt pretty tame. Like the horror elements felt pretty tame, but the dark academia elements felt very strong. So I don't know if it achieved its blend as well as it wanted to, and I don't know what to rate it, and I don't know exactly where my thoughts lie on this one. So it is one of those books where I just need to think more before I'm going to have my rating. So stay tuned for my wrap up, because hopefully in over a week's time, when the month is over, I will have my full and digested thoughts ready for you. That ticked off BIPOC author. I was also doing a lot of reading yesterday as I drank tea, as you saw, and I read, basically I've got 25 pages left of Monstress volume 5. I can't talk about it, but I love it, and I think it does such a good job of talking about some of the reasons why people are cruel to certain people, and the reasons why this war is happening, the reasons why there's so much dissonance between these two groups of people. And not only two groups of people, but even within these groups there's dissonance, is quite fascinating to me, and I think can be seen as quite a big metaphor for a lot of the things that go on in real life and in this world. I just love how this one has such casual disabled and queer representation all over the place. Characters who only speak through sign language, or characters like Micah, our main character, who is missing a limb or whatever. There's just so much casual representation in this as part of the story that I truly love. Also, there's cats in this, and the cats are kind of magical beings, and they are basically the most powerful beings in this world. But it did something quite funny with the cats in this volume that hadn't been part of the world building before, but it entertained me so much, which was nice to have a bit of a laugh amongst all of the seriousness. I've only got 25 pages left, so I can't tell you much, but I smell a new favourite. That was so cheesy. Also been getting to, ooh, it's upside down, I've got to the halfway mark of Dune. I've read half of this book, and it surprised me because in book one I was enjoying it more than I thought I was going to enjoy it, and I was here for the political intrigue. It is incredibly slow paced. It's one of those slow paced world building books, but I was here for it. I was enjoying myself. I was having a good time. I wasn't saying that I loved any of the characters, but I would say that I loved the world and the concept, and I could see how the plot was steadily building off those. So if you're not someone who needs a lot of character depth, but you're here for really good world building and a plot that's slowly but surely ticking over, you could enjoy this one. However, this morning I started book 2 and I reached the halfway mark, and I'm just a bit sick and tired of how the villain is just described as fat over and over and over again. It's like any description you get of the villain, the word fat is involved as the adjective. There's no other descriptor. It is a bit much and it is a bit ridiculous. So I'm not enjoying that, and the more I think about the descriptions that we get of the native people that are indigenous to this planet, the more it kind of aligns with concepts of savagery in a very discreet way. Mostly I'm feeling uncomfortable about the representation in this one. People have said that the woman depiction in this is not good, but I don't see it yet. There's literally only one person we see a lot, and that is Paul's mother so far, and I really like her. I think she's done fairly well. So I'm going to end this vlog today here, but first of all, I've got to choose a tea for my tea calendar, and we're on day 23, so you're going to see some vlogs out of order where you're going to still see Pukka teas after the Goftober vlogs, but in the Goftober vlogs we're going to finish it because there's only 2 more teas left. So we need tea 23, which is really easy for me to see, and I am so upset because this tea is the 3 licorice tea. Why? If you've been watching my vlogs, you'll know that I haven't enjoyed a single licorice tea flavour, and now this tea is basically just compounding the types of licorice together. I hope you enjoy seeing me suffer. So what description have they got for this? As sweet can be, with 3 forms of licorice blended beautifully for tea. Rate this tea and I'll start working, and then I'm going to end this vlog. And in my next vlog, you'll see me finish off the last 2 prompts that I have for Goftober, which means you'll get my final thoughts on Monstress, and I'll be reading my Sentient House book. And maybe, just maybe, I can finish Dune as well. I only made myself half a mug because I'm not masochistic. Okay, prepare yourselves for the biggest plot twist ever. I don't hate it. Okay, so let me explain. I think where all the other licorice flavoured teas went wrong is that it was trying to blend licorice flavouring with something that doesn't work with licorice flavouring. Like peppermint and licorice, it just didn't work, it didn't blend. This being only licorice means it's not trying to not be something that it is. It's not trying to be peppermint with licorice undertones. It's just trying to be licorice. And if you like licorice, you're gonna like this tea because it achieves that. I don't hate licorice. I'm not a big fan of licorice, but if you give me some licorice that's good, like a good licorice, like a Dutch licorice, I will say, I think Dutch licorice is good, I will drink it and I will be happy eating it. So this tastes like Dutch licorice in the form of a tea, and it's not that bad. It's not my favourite tea. I wouldn't buy myself a whole box of it, but it's not bad. I'm going to drink that and start my work day, but also start the next vlog. Please let me know in the comment section down below. What's something that's surprised you lately? Whether that's a book, whether that's a film or TV series, or even if it's just something or someone in your life. Like, tell me what surprised you lately, because this tea surprised me. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more, and don't even forget to hit that notification bell to be updated every time I have a new video. And you know what they say, onwards and upwards. Excelsior!